What's going on, everybody? It is MadManPlant, and we are here in the lab today on a Wednesday. It is 6 o'clock in the afternoon, which I kind of like because it's still sunny out while it's still summer here. But I'm working early tomorrow, and I didn't want to be up late. So I decided, you know what? Maybe we'll get some new people in. Maybe some people will tune in. I'm thinking about moving my podcast earlier in the day just to try it out. But I have a lot to talk about tonight. I was supposed to have a guest, but that guest no called, no showed. So it is me, and I am consistent to the brand. So I am here to talk your head off for about an hour to 2 hours, honestly, however long I feel like it. But I wanted to talk about quickly our barbecue smokeout event, October 12th at Richmond, Virginia. And if you go to my website, madmanplant.com, you click this link right here. It's going to take you to the attending and competing, the volunteer, the custom barbecue jersey, and the swag bag right on the website. And what is very cool about that is the fact that this event is really blowing up already, and it's going to become something really great and really big, and you guys should definitely be there. With that being said, I do want to quickly go over this, get you a little bit closer to me. Look at that. Look. It's like I got the far away shot. I got the close shot. We can kind of do a bunch of different things here. Let me do that. Ooh, that one looks cool. Although I'll lose my border. Well, you know what? I'll keep it like this because I like that, the way it looks with my background. All right, so check this out. So the barbecue event, we want to first thank our sponsors for the barbecue event. We got the Pink Sloth, which is the gold sponsor. We got Affordable Automotive, Business Leader Network, A to Z Meats, and GI Genetics wife, Sabrina, and her real estate company. We got for the bronze, we got Farmer Freeman, The Happy Place, Grow Depot, Dream Builders of VA, and that is awesome. So thank you guys for being a part. They're all going to have vendor booths at the event. So if you want to get to know them, hang out with them, they're all going to have their custom jerseys, which I just made a huge bulk order of jerseys yesterday. So if you did order your jersey, it is coming in. Now, here's how it works. If you are out of state and you are not coming to the event, I will mail your jersey out early. If you are coming to the event, I would like you to pick your jersey up when you get there. Reason being is we're going to be donating a check, and I want to make sure when we have that big foam check, I can get everybody, because my goal is to reach that $1,500, everybody in line, so we can do a group photo, because this means a lot to the community. It's you guys investing. It's helping out with cancer and breast cancer. And not only that, but we're also going to be celebrating domestic abuse a month. So October shares breast cancer and domestic abuse, and I'm sure a bunch of other things. But we actually have a lady named Gigi who I met at a networking event, who's a survivor, also a rape survivor. And she's going to be there talking as one of our public speakers. So it's all about empowerment as well. So there's going to be a lot of great people there telling their stories. Let me shout out everybody real quick here. We got Root Nerds in the house. We got Tommy Two Buds. We got Spanish Casey. We got Faviator, Curly Greenleaf. We got CC. I want to shout out to CC in the background running the little mod station here, getting my 2 angles because I got nowhere there. We were joking earlier. I should have put like a giant stuffed animal there, or teach Honey how to sit on the chair and just have Honey stare at me the entire time. I don't know how comfortable that's going to be, though. Alien Garden Genetics, what's up? Crimson Gronomics, my boys. Yes. All right. So with that being said, let me go down my list here. We do have competitors. We need competitors for the brisket and smoked chicken. We also, thanks to 804 Grow Tent, we're going to open up a portion for vegan. So if there's any vegan people out there that want to compete, we're going to make a 5th category for you. So you better show up, because this lady said if they make vegan, she would tell her Facebook page and they would show up in force. And I said, let's do it. So I'm hoping to see you guys there. Like I said, this event is all about your grassroots clone and seed trade event. This is not a plug event. There's not going to be people selling weed and mushrooms and all that. Although I love my weed and mushrooms, That's not this event. This event is breaking the stigma of cannabis, much like the Smoke Busters brand, which I'm about to go into here in a little bit. And it's breaking down that stigma. And when you do that, you allow outsiders from outside your community in. And if you want to do infused sauces, you could bring them with them and then put it on the table. Please make sure it says medicated. And I'm sure people would love that. I'm focusing on just meat, so I won't be doing the sauces. But we do have sauce, obviously, like Sweet Baby Ray's from like Costco or something. But that would be really great. But what I was saying was this event is inviting a lot of businesses. Like if we go right up here to the sponsors, Affordable Automotive, Business Leader Network, A to Z Meats, Dream Builders of VA, and Sabrina's Real Estate Company. There we have 9 sponsors, and 4 of them, almost actually 5 of them, I think 4 or 5, are sponsors, and that's huge. Because these are non-cannabis brands. These are outside the cannabis community primarily, but now they're coming together for this event for barbecue. And A to Z Meats is donating 300 people's worth of barbecue. So all the food that day is free. We have volunteer stations, which I'm going to go over here in a minute, that we need people out for the food stations. I'm going to have professional warmers that my friend who owns the meat shop is going to give me. So all the pulled pork and everything is on sterno cans. It's like a real machines and everything. It's going to be set up nice. Like there's a lot going into this and a lot of like hype behind this. So yeah, dude, if you and Trapdoor X want to talk sauces, dude, and show up in force, let's do that. Hot sauces, grow your own chilies, bring that. And then next year when we do our barbecue event, because this is going to go on for years, this is not just this year. We are going to incorporate more of that. So I would love for that to be there. Let's see here. Oh, you know what? Hold on for 1 second. I wanted to record this real quick for playback later. Bam. Yep. I say all this good shit, and then I don't get to put it in my reels. I'm just kidding. That's really what I want to do. All right. So the judging process, how does this work? Well, so far, until anything changes, you can either cook on site or do it at home and then bring it. There is no rule to your preparation. It's going to just be by the judge's palate and which one they think is the best. So there's no like category, like whatever it would be. You're going to attend plates that the volunteer will come. They'll have a white top. This has to be done anonymously. The judges are not allowed to see everything that goes on. With that being said, hold on. You know what? If I don't do that, I'm not going to have sound either. And then I'll be really pissed off because then I recorded this or nothing. Bam. See, I keep telling Lacey I need to hire a stagehand here. Somebody that's like on this. Bam. All right. So what will happen is the volunteer at the time will come to your table. He will collect your plates. There's 4 judges. So you'll need to make 4 individual plates. Your plating them also will be a factor. So make it pleasant and really nice for the judges. They will go one by one on what they judge. The winner will be picked at the end. So they will go through all the selections first, and then we will call the winners for the award ceremony. Let's see here. If you want to sign up, all you have to do is just go to MadManPlant.com. Very easy. We do have VIP access that allows you to get there at 11 o'clock. We're going to have a smoke session, which is virtual, with all the people that can't make it as well, which will be very cool. You'll have a swag bag and a t-shirt, all just for a minimum donation of $20. If you can afford more, that's always great. Proceeds are going to the breast cancer. So like I said, it's all to amp up that $1,500. We also have the jersey, which I am not wearing, which I should be wearing my jersey right now. Those are $31.50 on the website. The proceeds also go to the charity as well. And those you can put your name on the back. And it's really cool. And I think so far we've had close to 20 people order theirs, because I just did another order yesterday and that was 14 shirts, and we already did orders before that. So really excited about that. Right now, the current donation total is $749. That money that you have donated paid for Gronomics and Green Year's ticket to Virginia. So that money was used to purchase their ticket. As promised, me and GI will be matching that dollar amount through our companies back into that charity, or by donating the $749. Everything else that we're collecting right now is going to equal that $1,500 that we're looking for. The swag bags are limited edition, so first come, first serve. So far, we've already had 25 people sign up for the swag bags themselves. Volunteers are needed, and if you go to the MadManPlant website, let me pull this up here. I'm just going to pull it up on my platform. Oh, wait, it doesn't recognize me. Shit. It needs to see my face. All right. Yeah, I love my Jot forms. If you don't use Jot form in your business, you're missing out. It's so easy, and it keeps everything just so nicely organized. So let me see here. What was I looking for? Oh, shit. I forgot what I was looking for. God damn. Oh, here it is. All right. So on the website, you'll see that we need VIP table assistants from 11 to 12. Half Skull Cannabis will be there managing the VIP table, and we need one more person to join them. The role will be involving helping guests collect their swag bags and assisting with donations. We're going to have a money box. If they don't have cash, it's going to have a QR code that goes straight to the Cash App. All that money will be donated directly to that charity. Also forgot to mention that my friend Emiliano and Black Horse Tattoo will be there doing on-site tattoos. All money that they make from the tattoos will be donated to the charity group. So make sure if you want to get some ink, you come out and get some ink. We do need help with the food stations. We are providing food for 300 people, and we'll also have food vendors on site, at least one. I'm looking for volunteers who don't mind standing behind the table, passing out plates, helping with guests, getting organized, and just kind of keeping an eye on everything. We do need competitor barbecue runners. So when it is time for the barbecue competition, your job, one per category, is to go out and get all the plates. Like the two of you will plate, make sure everything's plated, cover it, make sure that the judges cannot see you move from the competition table to them. We purposely put the judges booth. So if you go to, you know what? Here, let me show you real quick here. Give me a second. I'm going to show you the layout. So I'll show you all the vendors real quick. So this is cool. This is something that you guys haven't seen here. All right. All right, perfect. So like me, I always like planning ahead and making sure that everything is in perfect alignment. So with that, I created this map on this site called Studio One Plan Events, and it's pretty cool. So just to give you guys an idea, the parking will be limited, so you want to arrive early. All right. So with that being said, there's this parking lot across from the Fortitude contracting park lot right here. The location of Homegrown is right here. It's right under this overpass. So if you're coming off, I believe, what is that? Give me a second. Will it tell me? Google Maps. Come on, be faster. Yeah, I knew it was 64. If you come off 64, You're gonna hit that little exit ramp, bam, and it's gonna pull you around. You just come right here. This will be open, right? This is the Parker Field Recycling Annex. This whole lot right here, you can park in. Over here, people can park here too. It's a little bit more of a walk. There will be reserved parking. No one is to park in the vendor lot, and these are reserved for public speakers because they're mainly going to be there to speak, and then maybe they'll stay, maybe they'll head out, but we don't want to make them have to walk very far. Other than that, it's going to be a pretty easy setup. How we have it is the barbecue competition area is behind, so the booth they won't be able to see. So the runners will come up from the food table to get the plates where Jackie's, D's, Sweet Treats is. Come up, get the food, and then you'd bring it around to the table. Over here will be the backdrop where I'll have all the logo sponsors on it. Right here will be the podcast booth. And then we have the GI Genetics. We have the Dead by Dawn booth. Farmer Freeman, Glass Flow Art. I shot his wedding like 12 years ago. He's an awesome dude does glass blowing. He'll probably be glass blowing that day. We got Walton Select. We got DC Gatsby, the Hyena Club, Farmer Joe, Seeds of Chemist, Jordy Genetics, the Happy Place, Traveling Troy, Can of Soap, UGC, Half Skull Cannabis, Rosie's Remedies, Superflower Strains, HPG. Goddamn, I need some water. Where's the goddamn water bottle? Sound like an old person. We got Mythic Woodworks, and we got Cherry Stoner. And then inside, we're going to have GI's wife, who's a realtor. Her booth is going to be here. We have Dream Builders. We have B&L. We have Black Horse Tattoos, Photon Farms, and the guest speaker. So it's going to be a packed event, but it's going to be really fun and a really good time. And that's why I like planning it out like I did. Oops, sorry. I'm taking over your job, CC. Fix me. Thank you. Damn. Watch this. I'm going to text Lacey. That's what you do. You got to text the wife. First, let's call her. So, speaking of which, Lacey, can you bring me a drink? I'm struggling here. Love you, kid. Let's see here. Let me read these comments real quick here. I'm an edible run. Sir, be careful with that. Hey, you know what? I would like your recipe there because I've been using the Levo machine and it hasn't been coming out as strong. I've had to do it a couple of times to get like the potency, like maybe like 4 to like 6 gummies. And I would like, I don't have a checker, so I would like some feedback on that. Let's see here. Yeah. What's going up? Big time buds. All right. So speaking of which, let's continue on. This is going to be a family friendly event. So if you want to bring your grandmother, cool. My child may be there. There may be other children there. Sometimes from time to time there is. There's nothing that's going to be illegal or anything you need to worry about. And again, honey, shut up. This is why I can't do lives. Breaking the stigma is, aiming to demonstrate the positive impact that us as cannabis community members have for the outside world, and to really kind of show everybody that we're not all these bunch of losers where it's going to be like some risque event where they might wind up arrested or drugged out. It's a really great time to really discover cannabis if you're not in it, and then also if you are in it, to appreciate cannabis and to have people that appreciate it as well. Where, like when I was at National Cannabis Festival, and not to knock National Cannabis Festival because it's a great event, but when you're there and you talk to people about weed, they don't know anything. Like I literally went up to a couple people and I was like, hey, what are you smoking on? And they're like, some stank. And I'm like, that's great. Like who's it from? Genetics, whatever. Oh, we got it from that guy. Go to that guy. Oh, dude, hey, what's on the back crosses and what's all this stuff? Oh, dude, we get it from Oregon. It's like, motherfucker, you love weed enough so much that you don't know anything about it other than how to smoke it. Like, it just infuriates me because it's like you unlock so much more when you know more. Everybody knows that. Let's see here. Okay, so event schedule from 12 to 1 o'clock. We got networking and socialization. So get to know people, talk to people. From 1 to 2, we have keynote speakers. There's going to be 4 keynote speakers, including me. I'm going to be speaking about mental health, my tour, and then ultimately cannabis. From 2 to 2:30, we're going to have a meet and greet. So all the sponsors, we're going to be going around with a microphone, getting to know everybody. I'm going to be filming a bunch of this, for later purpose. From 2 to 3 or 2:30 to 3, we're going to break. It's going to be a refresh networking hour. From 3 to 4, I'm going to do my podcast session. I'm only doing 4 segments because I want to leave the podcast table open for other people to tell their story. So I'm only doing 5 interviews that day. So if you want to be one of those interviews, I'm going to have a sign-up list. First come, first serve. If you don't sign up, I'll beat your ass. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see here. Oh, actually, you know what? If you do sign up and you don't show up, I'll beat your ass. No, I'm just kidding. With that being said, from 4 to 5, we have the main judging. So this is where we're going to do a shout out to all the sponsors once again. The live judging will start. I have an MC that's going to be at the event. So he'll be on the microphone for a good part of the time. I'll be on the microphone as well. But it's going to be really cool. And he does all the tattoo conventions here in Virginia. So he's really good on the mic. He's funny. And he's a huge pothead. He's also as tall as Crimson. If you know how tall Crimson is, he's about like 6'5". Let's see here. At 5 o'clock, the event ends, so we can probably hang out. I don't think Homegrown will be in a hurry to kick us out. But the biggest thing is I want to make sure that we're on our P's and Q's and really dive into cleaning up the place, making it look presentable, and really helping out. And then that's also on the volunteer form. We do have a cleanup crew helping people get organized and cleaned up because the biggest thing about having fun is also making sure that we can do it again. And by setting a good factor, we can do that. Let's see here. And then also the core philosophy. Why do I do this? And this is what's going to bring me into my real conversation for tonight as I finish this out. But my philosophy is, how can you grow a beautiful garden if you can't grow a beautiful human? And the time and resources and love and passion and care and what we put into these plants, and then we turn around and don't even put that into ourselves or our own community, and it's filled with chaos and just havoc, and it's really disruptive. And then also we want to discuss the personal growth and the self-development alongside nurturing a garden, and that's my main conversation about tonight too. So with that, let's see here. That's pretty much the barbecue. So now here's the real meat and potatoes of the conversation. Tonight is talk to people and create conversations how you would create them with yourself. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of hearsay and there's a lot of just noise in the community, whether it's in the cannabis community, whether it's in outside communities. And the biggest thing is that causes self-destruction. And the people that aren't worried about that are the doers, the people that are committed to their goals. And what I want to challenge everybody in the community is to become more committed to yourself than the noise and the situations around you. We can do so much as humans and unlock so much potential, but we sometimes choose to put it in the wrong hands. And what I mean by this is my therapist, which I meet with every Friday. If you don't have a therapist, you should have a good one. It makes a difference. But with that being said, you're constantly feeding two people in life. You're feeding the person that wants to get better and the person that wants more and the person that chooses to become bigger and above the rest. And then you have the person that is like the negative side, the person that thinks about the past and regret and failure and jealousy and anger and conspiracy and all this stuff, a lot of that time, a lot of the stuff in your head, it may not actually be true. And 90% of the time, the shit that you think is not true. See, the problem with the human body and the mind itself is the brain doesn't know the difference, or the subconscious does not know the difference between reality and what you tell it. That's why a monk can sit with freezing rags on his body and develop steam and internal heat. That's why split personality disorder people could have one personality could actually be diabetic and need insulin. And then the other personality, and this is in the TV show, you can watch it, could be perfectly fine and not need insulin. The mind is such a powerful thing, and we're going to sit here and waste it on dumb shit. What I want to see from my community, and I want to see from myself, and I'm talking to myself and I'm talking to everybody, is you guys all rise to that next level. And then to do that, you need to invest in yourself. By anything else, anything that detracts from that mission is a waste of your time. Just like, I don't know if you guys know who Jim Rohn is, but Jim Rohn is one of my favorite motivational speakers. He's actually somebody I strive to be like one day when I get older. I want to talk and carry my same persona just like he did. And one of the biggest things in life is it's not what you get, it's who you become. And I think a lot of us as influencers, and I use that term loosely because everybody wants to be an influencer, is to influence, it means to change. It means to bring something new, to excite. It's about energy. And when you use your influences, you should be mindful of how you use them and what you use them for. Because not only does negativity attract negativity, but it's proven that it sees out in many multiple different ways that you may not even be aware of. And those situations and attitudes, and I'm not perfect either, can really change and affect what happens to you, your brand, your level. See, I like to think about this, right? We're all in the influencer space, right? Oh, dude, thanks. I appreciate that, Chris. That's awesome that you think that way. And I think this way too. And here's the thing. We have limited time on earth. Nobody knows when we're going to die, right? So the idea is we want to create memorable memories, exciting memories, happy memories, right? In order to do that, you can't do it with negative shit. And I get negative too. I was negative earlier today. Because I had a contract that didn't go through. They chose another company for video production, which pissed me off because they only did it because the guy was way cheaper than I am. I can't compete with that. And it pissed me off. But then I was like, wait a minute, just like I'm talking to you guys, who am I serving right now? And what attitude is getting this? If you consider yourself an influencer or a brand, you're considering yourself like a business, right? So your brand, how you act, react, what you talk about, what you think, what you say, how you carry yourself when shit goes south is a reflection of you. And when it comes to becoming a multi-million-dollar person, like what we talk about, and you don't need money to be a multi-million-dollar person, but when we talk about my million-dollar mindset, we talk about the ability to grow morals and beliefs and strengths and disciplines and values that we use to drive ourselves on the like in masonry, so we're all on the same level, we're all on the level. And as a Mason, that's why I love masonry. It's all about the moral application of life, how you use the working tools to mold and conform your life. And what I want to challenge people in here is to be better. You're better than this. You're better than the nonsense. Some of the shit that you say, is not true, but you're saying it anyways in agreement because one of your friends thinks some type of way. So now you got to think some type of way. Stop dick riding each other. Stop trying to just be like, oh, I got to like this guy because if I like this guy, I'm going to get this guy. We got 10 people in my fucking life right now. I don't give a shit. I'm talking to 10 people that actually give a fuck about what I have to say. That's good enough for me. I'm not here for numbers. I'm not here for the fame or the fortune. I'm here to change lives. I'm a real person. Like, I'm not here for the fake shit. You know what I mean? Getting free stuff and calling yourself an influencer is great. Changing somebody's life, becoming a better person, becoming a better lover, becoming a better friend, becoming a better communicator. Those are values that are going to change your life that you guys aren't paying attention to. And and that's why some of you guys are losing out. So instead of always hating on the other person because of what they got going on or what they're doing in the community, maybe start paying attention of, well, how do they move like that? Bruce Lee talked about water. When water goes in the vase, it becomes the vase. When water goes in the glass, it becomes the glass. Start to be like water in your communities. Build bridges. The thought of self-sabotage and taking each other down a level for instant gratification or just for pure thought because you don't know any better. And the problem is with a lot of us, we don't know what we don't know. And that's going to be the biggest issue that we all face, is we don't know what we don't know. And the biggest thing that we can do is become educated. If you have a problem with somebody, talk to that person about it. Don't run your mouth to somebody else that has nothing to do with it. Talk to them. My biggest thing is I'm a communicator. You don't like me? I got an email. I got tons of ways you can connect me. I got LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, anything. Tell me you don't like me. I got a suggestion box that asks you how to make my platform better. My thing is, this is not for you. This is for me. In a way, I'm on a mission to make myself a better person by learning how to be more caring, more compassionate. And I do these through the podcast. And if you don't understand my brand or what I do or why I wear the mask, I don't give a shit. I could give a fuck less. If you guys all walked out of this room right now, I'd still be talking to me. You know what I mean? Learn to be like that. Learn to be so self-absorbed in what you got going on because you know the value that it brings to the people around you, that you're bulletproof. That's my message to you guys, is you guys are all really, really vibrant, powerful people. Why are we listening to the minds of weakness? And yes, there are weak people. I know somebody got mad at me the other day for saying this. Until you learn to invest in yourself, stand on your own, and really have morals and self-respect and virtue, you are going to be a weak person. Because if you don't stand for anything, you will fall for everything. It is a saying that's been around longer than I have. And I just need you guys to become better, because this is my biggest thing. We all want to grow really great big plants, but when it comes to the community, we don't. Everybody's like, oh, the community is great. And yes, in aspects, the community is great. And I've seen that greatness. I've seen it towards the donations. I've seen it towards the accounts that like me, the people that are in here right now. But I've also seen the negative side. And where do you draw the line? Where do you understand that you are costing yourself more time, money, and energy by being pissed off than just going to do whatever the fuck you wanted to go do? You know why I'm on tour right now? Because I decided to go on tour and I put the pieces together and I'm on my tour. Now, am I doing something huge like some like big time celebrity? No, but I'm making an impact little by little by chasing what I perceive as valuable. What do you guys perceive as valuable? And how are you going to use that to get what you want? The idea of life is it is short. And just like in the Billy Joel song, you can either get what you want or you can just get old. And getting old is a sure thing. Getting what you want, that's questionable. So you really need to think about every second, every person, every decision as, is this one step closer to get what I want? Because I live in the philosophy that I'm only one person away from the right person. I'm only one person away from this all just blowing up in everybody's fucking face. I'm only one meeting away from the right person. I'm only one decision away from taking my brand to the next level. I'm only one decision and moral away from taking me to the next level. Be like that. Let's see here. What are some people saying while I'm running off? This is what I do is I get stoned and I'm like a rapper. I can't rap, but I can word vomit pretty goddamn well. And it just flows. Sometimes I'm like an autopilot mode. I'm just like thinking of other things and I'm like just going. But it's real shit. And it's things that if you change let's see here, it's all about knowing the process and all the unexpected things that could arise and be ready to adapt. Yep. Like Eminem, I'm not a rapper, I'm an adapter. Let's see here, right? I've been telling people that you are in control of your own emotions. Yep. And actions. Yeah, no, you are. It's about accountability, dude. It's about being real with your fucking self. My therapist talked about this, and there's even like a book about it. It's where your ego has to die. Stop, like remember in Maverick where he's like, I don't give a shit what your name is, how many flights you've flown, who you think you've done, you're shit. And you have to be like that to yourself. I could be on here saying that I'm the greatest, I'm on tour, blah, blah, blah. I did all this, blah, 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 but I'm not. I'm focused on the healing power, the transformation, because just like, I forget the rapper that said it. Oh no, it was Shaquille O'Neal. And he said he had a conversation with Jeff Bezos. And Jeff Bezos told him that if he wanted to increase his wealth, find a way to change the world. And he said that he's thought about that and he applied that thing. And he says he must have quadrupled his investments. If you change the world, if you can change somebody's emotions, if you can change somebody's way of thinking, that is the power. A lot of, did you know that there's a good group of people? I think it's like 52% of people in the world do not have an inner monologue. So they do not talk to themselves at all. Like they're not like, okay, maybe I should do this. No, actually, instead of a joint, I think I want to do this. They're almost just kind of like non-playable characters. That's scary. That if you don't talk to yourself, I talk to myself all the fucking time. I yell at myself in my head. I discipline. Sometimes I'll be sitting at the office table. Yeah, well, look it up. Maybe I'm wrong on the percentage, but it's a high percentage like that. But sometimes I'll be sitting at the table and I'll be getting on my phone and I'm like, are you working? Is this making you a better person? Is this helping your family? And I'm like, all right, back to work. God damn it. You got to be your own boss. And when you become in control of your emotions, you become bulletproof, dude. Nothing bothers you. Why should it bother you? See, the problem with people, and this is what I've learned recently too. The problem with people is most people are self-absorbed into they only sit in their world. So their perception of their world is the only thing that they know. So anything outside would be foreign to them. So your thoughts, your feelings, that's why people make jokes and then you get offended and they don't understand why you got offended. It's just a joke. Well, to you, it's just a scenario that you had to go through that wasn't funny. And that's the thing. And when you internalize shit, your mind will go wild. I'm the worst person for internalizing shit. I'll sit here and I'll be like, you know what? I think Mickey Mouse hates me. In fact, I hate Mickey Mouse. And in fact, blah, 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 blah. And you go down a rabbit hole and it's like, Mickey Mouse is a cartoon. And you're like, fuck. All right. You're right. He's a cartoon. We're good. So you got to take that ego pill out, dude. You just got to let go. That's why I would be vulnerable. And that's why this podcast exists. We're not talking about who we are. We're talking about who we're becoming, what we're becoming. Yeah, fuck Mickey Mouse. Fucking hate that goddamn mouse. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. What up, Florida Man Jack? But no, this is some real talk that I really think you guys you need to understand. And because ever since I put on the mask, even from day one, like the first time I ever put out a video. Now I have 549 videos on YouTube right now. And just since 2020. So in 4 years, 500 videos. Over, I think 200 plus are podcasts from the last 2 years. But with that being said, the first time I ever made a video and I put on the mask, I had about 60 people go in on me about how I would never build a brand with a mask, how nobody would ever listen to me, that I was what's wrong with the cannabis community, that it looked like I had a checkerboard on my face, to you name it. Like, I mean, down the list. Like, if I was going to get disapproved, it would have been that day. And, I could have easily just succumbed and just taken the mask off. But the reason I wore the mask in the beginning was because it was illegal to grow in my state, and I wanted to start growing, and we were just around the election time. So I didn't want to out myself just in case it didn't get approved. So I put on the mask. I used to never show my arms. You can never see my tattoos or anything. I used to have a voice changer back in the day. But as time came through, I really developed myself in the community. And that's the part of this, is when you create opportunities and spaces in the community, people can really become themselves. And that's where people become great. The problem with it is, if we're negative, we're always putting people down. The graveyard is the richest place in the world. That's where things go to die. So when you think about it, all the ideas, creations, thoughts, visions, things that people desperately wanted to, reveal about themselves, died with them because of other people and insecurities. Yeah, dude, Macho, we are on the same mindset right now, dude. We are on the same mindset. And that's a sad position to be in. Imagine dying. Okay, so check this out, right? So my friend told me the other day, actually my therapist did, he told me that there's two types of death. There's the death when your heart stops beating, and then there's the death when somebody says your name for the last time. Think about how deep that shit is. To be truly forgotten. That's crazy, right? That's why in life, it is so important to try to build a legacy. Whether your legacy is raising a great family and a bunch of great kids and having a great life, or whether your fantasy is something extraordinary, it's all matter. It all matters, and it's all value. The thing is, we don't always get to decide when it's over. And it'd be really sad for you if in somewhere in your heart or your mind, you weren't who you were just because of society. And we see it all the time. So that's also why when you ignore the noise, the people, the conspiracies, I've had so many people say things about me. There's still people today saying things about me. I don't give a fuck. I don't. I really don't. And for anybody watching that has anything negative to say about me, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. You can say it all you want. You're wasting your time. I actually think you should come to my platform, listening to my voice and my words, and you might actually find a difference of opinion. And if it's not from me, it's definitely going to be from some of my guests. So please say what you want. It has no bearing. What has bearing is the fact that I get to talk to passionate, beautiful, strong people who come on my podcast, who tell courageous stories. That's my donations. That's my $1 million. That's my investment. So if it's not that, I don't really care. I've even turned down 3 people right now who wanted to be on the podcast because their visions and what they wanted to talk about did not align with me. I'm very, very dedicated and strong-willed to what I believe in. And if you don't like it, like somebody said here, there is an unsubscribe button, and I suggest you use it immediately, because I'm not changing, and neither are any of the people who watch me. It's a you problem. It's not a me problem. With that being said, everybody should really think about this. Your life is so valuable and short. I've died on the occasion of almost taking myself out, and I've died on the occasion of almost dying in an accidental car death. And when you're on both sides, there's an emotion tied with death, a feeling. And when you go out, like one of my greatest conversations with my grandmother was, I talked to her about her death before she died. And I mean, I asked every single question. And her response was she was very religious. So I have my own personal relationship with God. If you have different, that's on you. It does not bother me at all. But she told me that she was repaid in every single way, and that she lived a beautiful life, and that she was at such peace That did not matter if she went tomorrow. And that's a goal that I have. So the next time I deal with death, I can have that. And one of my goals and how I'm accomplishing that is to do something that's bigger than myself. And that's this podcast. That's the conversations. That's making me feel like I'm doing something big and valuable in the world. Because even with me, I deal with imposter syndrome sometimes. Sometimes I don't think I deserve to be where I am. And, I can be weak-minded. Everybody can be weak-minded. Weak-minded, just like happiness, is a temporary state of being. It's not something that's consistent, nor that you can control. It's something that you have to work on. It's something that you can control eventually. But it's not just like this thing where you just instantly get what you want. That's why one of the famous quotes from Jim Carrey is, "I wish everybody could have their dreams come true," to realize that's not the answer either. When you serve a higher purpose, like what I'm trying to do with this podcast, the value, the worth, the self-gratification, it's all internal. I had this Greek philosopher tattooed on my arm. His name's Diogenes. Diogenes was a troublemaker. He was kicked out of Sinopes. He was once sold into slavery. He bit at the ankles of the people that he did not like. He walked around town with his dog everywhere. Coincidence. He even got kicked out of the movie theater once for masturbating in it. He also made fun of a lot of the Greek philosophers. He was also a cynic, which meant that he didn't believe in external wealth and materials. He believed that all the power resided within, and that to become a great person, it's pretty much not what you get, it's who you are. He even made fun of Alexander the Great multiple times. One day, Alexander the Great came to visit Diogenes, and Diogenes was digging in a dumpster, and he said, "Diogenes," he's like, "I need to speak with you." And Diogenes responded and said, "I would love to speak with you, but I can't right now because I'm looking for the bones of your father, but I can't distinguish them from the bones of your father's slaves." Dumbfounded and kind of pissed off about this, he said, "Diogenes," he's like, "I don't have a lot of time." He's like, "I came to talk with you specifically." At this time, Diogenes is getting out of the dumpster, lays down on the ground in front of him, kind of in a fixed position with his legs out. And he's like, "Diogenes," he's like, "You're filthy. You're homeless." He's like, "Nobody likes you." But he's like, "I honestly pity you. And I've come to give you whatever you want. Money, wealth, women, whatever you want, I'm going to give it to you." At this time, Diogenes was staring into the sun and simply asked him, "Alexander, do you think you could move out of the way? You are blocking the sunlight." Really pissed off about this, Alexander the Great reminded Diogenes that he was leaving and this opportunity would never come again. Diogenes reportedly stared out into the sun. As Alexander the Great was leaving, he said, "If I was anybody but Alexander the Great, I would be Diogenes." And that's because Diogenes didn't give a fuck. And that's why you need not to give a fuck. You don't give a fuck about anyone or anything. If it doesn't align with you, fuck it, dude. It's not going to serve you, and it never will. I've made more impact in my life as a business owner and as an authoritative figure in my own life by saying no and not pleasing people. And I think maybe that reflects in the views sometimes, because I'm very strong-willed and very opinionated, and I believe in what I believe in. And, I'm just a very strong-minded person. I believe in morals. I believe in integrity. I believe in respect. And if you're not about that, I really don't know how to help you. It's a you problem that really should be fixed out. Yeah, boundaries are essential, right? Where my dog's at? They're right here, all 14 of them. You guys are awesome. Yeah, well, it's super hard to do as a business. Well, this is the thing too, and this goes back to the original conversation. If you are a business, you should never, in any atmosphere, bash or disrespect another business. And this is why. Your customers do not think that's cool. You and your little buddies or inner circles may think that's cool, but what you're doing is you're giving yourself an auto review of who you are and what you'll probably do to your customers if they don't work out either. It's not a good look. You really need to fix that. And that's why you don't see me lash out at anybody. You don't, like I told you, water, baby, water. Doesn't fucking matter. I was once told this by my dad. If they're not fucking you, feeding you, or financing you, their opinion does not matter. And you need to remember that too. Just because somebody is upset does not give you the right as a human, as a person, to go and attack them and to bash them, especially if they're a business. You can be sued for that. And if you don't believe me, you should look up some of the lawsuits and people who ran their mouth who had to pay out millions. All right. Not that I want to sue anybody, but the point of the being is it's about respect. If you don't like somebody else, who gives a fuck? They don't. I guarantee you, I don't. You're wasting your fucking time. And that's the thing is, if you're an influencer, if you're a business, you need to act like spot on. You don't see like a person at Dairy Queen. Well, I mean, I guess maybe I shouldn't say that, maybe in the ghetto or some weird odd place out west or something like that. Maybe you get somebody that, gets hot and heavy with you. But the point is, you don't see people outlashing like big companies, right? You don't see like Verizon shit talking AT&T. I'm sure they do in subtle ways through their marketing, but you're not going to see, oh, fuck that dude, he's a piece of shit, unfollow him, everybody, blog him, tag him on my post, all this dumb shit. You handle it like a G. You remember like The Godfather? When they did violence, they did it strategically. They didn't just go out and just mob somebody. Even with organized crime, just look back in history. If there's a time and a place to get your punch and your jab in, but sometimes on the main stage in front of everybody, it's not. And you will inadvertently lose more people who respect values and morals and integrity than you will a loose cannon. And here's the thing, like I said earlier, if they can act that some way to somebody else publicly, what could they do to you if you turn the sides or things flip? It's a show of character and self-development, your disciplines, your strengths. Those are who you are. That what makes you worth the money. If you don't have that, it doesn't matter how good you are. There's a quote by Eric Thompson that says, your attitude will keep you from your altitude. And that means if you have a shit attitude, it doesn't matter how good you think you fucking are. Nobody's going to work with you because you're an ass. And everybody knows that. And they'd much rather take the loss and work with somebody second best than have the headache. I do that in my business. If I have a company that I work with and it becomes too complicated or they don't get the value or vision of what I'm doing, I will fire them as a client. I will say, hey, my company is not aligned with your project. I can't work with you. I think you'll have to find somebody else. You got to be like that. You got to be different, dude. Like what people do on social media is great because there's no ring. There's no person in front of you to punch you in the fucking face or run your mouth. There is in real life. And that's why I've had multiple people in the past verbally threaten me over some 3D printing clips back in the past. I saw multiple of them at events. We came this close to each other. Guess what they did? They said hello. So, like I said, dude, it's all bullshit. It's like keyboard warriors. You know what I mean? What do you want in your fucking life, and what are you going to do to go get it? Because if you think that social media is it, there's a whole world that we live in. You know what I mean? And that's what I try to explain to people. I'll tell you when I'm on social media. I'm on social media in the morning when I wake up and I take a shit. I'm also on social media when I check my phone throughout time to time. But you know what I'm really doing? I'm just looking to see if anybody commented so I can try to remember to comment back. And I'm also seeing how Instagram screws me because I'm shadow banned. So with that being said, dude, I'm not really on social media. I'm out here building a life like I encourage you guys to. It's great to, have free products and, be an influencer and stuff. But if you're not growing like that garden, one of you is going to outgrow the other. And that's going to be a bad position to be in. So, that's my talk for tonight as far as my lecture is, think about that, dude. It's not about being cool or whatever. It's about your investment, your life. What do you want? What are you getting? I'll tell you this. I align with more people by being nice, and even if I don't agree with them, shaking my head, gritting my teeth, and still being respectful. And that has landed me partnerships that I actually didn't think that the person liked me, but I was respectful anyways, and they brought me a client. So think about that. It's just retarded. It's fucking stupid. What's everybody doing in the chat? Let me smoke a joint. I just talked for a straight hour without smoking, and this is like the Smoke Busters podcast. That's why I'm very excited that I got a speaking opportunity. So check this out. I want to read this to you guys really quick. So I've been telling you the whole year I wanted to become a public speaker, motivate people. Been doing that with the podcast. Well, I got a message yesterday from my company, and they want me to come and speak in front of their programs to multiple of their classes. And I'm asking them, I have a meeting with them coming up, if I can do this continuously, so I can get as much practice in as possible. Yeah, show respect, get respect. That's exactly it. Hold on, let me pull this up here. Don't fail me now, you stupid phone. This is what I'm talking about. Smartphone or dumb phone? Come the fuck on. You would do this to me too, right? Let me go to Facebook real quick. Of course. I think I share a good bit of difficulty on these lives from time to time with technical issues. I'm like, oh, look at this. Oh, wait, never mind. Oh, look at this. No, never mind. Oh, look at this. No. All right. There we go. When their cell service works better than the Wi-Fi in the house. You got to love it. All right. So here it goes. It says, hello, I'm a career readiness partner at Blank Center, and I wanted to reach out to your company to see if you'd be willing to come speak with our video production classes this school year about the industry and your company. Many video production students feel like they can't make a career in the industry, so I'm hoping to show them successful people in the industry and how they have made a name for themselves. And I responded, honestly, I would love to combine that conversation that you suggested with motivation. I'm very big into helping people realize their value and getting them inspired to take themselves to the next level. And she said, that's exactly what we need. Bam! Rockstar status, dude. So I'm pretty excited about that. To change the use, I was thinking about going in and starting with the Any Given Sunday speech. We're in hell, gentlemen. And talk about how I pissed away all my investments and my ex-wife, and because I actually really do have an ex-wife, which is funny. I could talk about that. And just go through the whole Any Given Sunday speech. If anybody knows that movie, it's actually a pretty good movie and famous speech. Peanut butter and me jelly. Thank you, Root Nerds. Really appreciate that. The boiler room. Yep, Macho, thank you. Anthony, yep. Yeah, dude, no. I mean, this is my thing. Do you see me doing the dumb shit online? No. I'm in my business. I'm working on it. I'm getting where I want to fucking be. I want to drive a Lamborghini one day. Do I think that Lamborghinis are the coolest car in the world? No, not really. Don't really know anything about them. I just want to own one and say that I own one. Maybe own it for a year. Maybe own it for 3 years. I don't know. But I want to be able to put myself in a position where I can do that. I can set an insane amount of goals like that and then accomplish them. And that's the way you need to be. Because what happens is it's addicting. It's like gambling. Once they start happening, you're like, okay, more. You know what I mean? And then this way, you're actually doing something cool with your life. Yeah, 97 Supra. That's an expensive car. Those are going for like $120,000, $200,000, especially if it's like a mint condition. Yeah, that's a good car. Very cool, dude. Yeah. Well, like I said, dude, it's what do you want, and what are we all getting out of this? All right, I'm gonna roll something real quick here. That's right. Write them down, visualize them, tell yourself each day. I have a vision board, and I was showing CC earlier. I use a site called Asana, and Asana does all my tasks, and then I just put everything. So for MadManPlant, I have, like marketing, website, business plan, the road show, blah blah blah, and I'm just feeding that with information every day. Oh my god, it's a great thought, put it in. Oh my god, it's a great thought. And then what I'm doing is I'm going back and I'm looking at that, and I'm like, okay, take this and mix it with this, and take that and mix it with that. It's kind of like you're a chemist. You're a chemist for opportunity. When you can start identifying opportunity and start seeing things as partnerships and really elevation, this negative shit, it's for the birds, dude. There were two rappers who said the same thing as Jeff Bezos said to Shaq. They were beefing, and the dude's like, come meet me. And they met, and he's like, just so you know, he's like, all that beef that we have, he's like, that's for publicity. He's like, if you want to make real money with me, he's like, let's change the world together. And they set up like a nonprofit and foundation and did a whole bunch of shit together. And I'll get you the names of those people. But like I said, dude, partnerships. Who can you align with? Who's doing what? It's like that. It's like the 6 degrees of separation. We are so close to where we want to be or who we want to know. The first time, like how I met Raw, not that I'm best friends with them, but I would love to be. And I wore your scarf during my live tattoo to represent you because I love the brand. I just went up to him and said, hey, dude, I'm a huge fan. I got your products in my pocket right now. Can we do an interview? He could have said no. I don't know. But he said yes. And I got my interview. Also, all you guys have you asked for what you want? Not just to yourself, but to the universe. And have you asked that with consistent action, following up with what you got to do to get what you want? Because it's not just about being on Faith Street. God, like Steve Harvey says, God delivers to Faith Street, but the problem is you don't live on Faith Street. And unless you're there to pick up, there ain't nothing there for you. So, what are you doing each day? And it could be a small thing like, hey, I planned another podcast, or I'm going to make another video this week. Or you could be like, I'm going to make 10 videos this week. I'm going to do this and this and this and this. You know what I mean? So where do you stand as yourself? And when you do that, you also find out that you book yourself out. You'll have way less time because you'll be so focused on organization and trying to get everything together that next thing you know, you're exactly where you want to be. Like, think about this, right? The road show. Last October, told Lacey I was sick of my life. I'm sick of sitting in these four walls. I'm sick of the people that I serve because the clients that I'm working with, they don't get the value. They're small-minded. They're big projects and they pay decently, but you're going to learn the difference in business, the difference between good money and bad money. And just because it's a lot of money doesn't always mean it's good money. The main factor being, if the companies don't align with you, if they don't believe in you, you're going to be wasting your time from day one. They will never be satisfied. That's why it's important to align with yourself with people who like you right off the bat, and versus people that you have to earn the respect for. Because the people that will already like you off the bat will always be satisfied with whatever you do. If you want to sit on the beach, they're going to love you. If you want to do this, they're not. The people that want you to change because they think that you need to change to fit in their realm, that's incorrect. You live your life how you want. As long as you're not hurting anybody, doing anything illegal, or really, causing mayhem. I think people should, if you want to go live on the land, cool. If you want to go live in a high-rise, $500 million, whatever condo or some dumb shit, that's up to you. Where do we stand? All right, so this is a strawberry Cadillac, and I'm coming down to the end of it. So luckily, I planted some autos because I would have been out. Now, granted, if we check on my tent real quick here, I'm pull up my screen. Give me a second here. I think I'm about 4 to 5 weeks out. I'm about to enter week 6. So with that being said, I'm pretty excited about my new harvest because we got a couple new flavors I haven't tried before. And also, too, I'm about to start my grow series again, but I'm doing my grow series a little bit different. So, how my new grow series works, and we'll pull up my garden here. Oh my God, look at it. Oh, it looks so beautiful. It's going to do a nice fade. So let's see here. We got the purple marmalade over here. And then we got the creature panic right here and the cherry zolito. And you know what's the craziest thing? I've been having like Christmas theme or feels lately. Like I'm expecting to go outside and it'd be cold, maybe because I'm just tired of the heat. But the fall time is my favorite part of the year, especially around like Christmas, because that's when everybody gets together. It's where, the happiness and magic lies. Now, this year I plan to do Christmas a lot more up, especially with MadManPlant. But I just love that time of season. Fall foliage. Yeah, inside. That's what I'm talking about, dude. The fall colors. And actually, two of my plants outside that are photos have already started pre-flowering. So I guess the season must start becoming to an end because the plants, two of them are noticing it. Yeah, no, but I think they're just looking really good and really healthy. And I'm very, very excited about how they're turning out. The two in the back on the far right and the cherries a little are so almost like that big, like where it's pretty big, like thick too, like dense. Like I'm talking about not airy. I'm really hoping that maybe I could do 4 pounds. I think that would be so tight because then I can make my bubble hash, which I'm trying to make. And I also been using the Levo machine, and now instead of using trim, I'll be able to use real bud, which will be even better. Especially, I love my edibles. But also another thing too is, so with my grow series, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do task based things. So every time I do a grow series, I'm doing it for a specific task. One of my first tasks is I'm very ADHD, and I'm on the go all the time. And sometimes with certain cannabis strains, it can wipe me out and I'll get very, very tired. So I, right now, hints in the comments, am on the look for a very sativa, uppity high, very clear, very energetic, makes you want to go out and climb a mountain type deal. Like that's what I'm looking for. And that's going to be my first goal. And is doing that, is like growing for a specific reason, which I use cannabis, medicinally, but I'm going to start trying to do the strains medicinally, really figuring out. And that was an idea from Lacey. So got to give her props, Madam. Abskull Cannabis, what is up, my dude? Yeah, we are chilling out here. I'm smoking on some strawberry Cadillac. Did anybody notice that my drink never came down? God damn it. This is why I'm going to have to hire a maid. Lacey is fired until further notice. I'm telling you, Lacey is fired. Let's see if we get her on the phone. Lacey, everybody can hear you on the podcast. Say hi.
Hi.
Everybody wants to know if you're still going to bring me that drink.
You know what? It's funny that you said that because Rock, I'm in Discord, and Rock was like, he called you and said he needed water. And all I heard you say was thank you.
Yeah, it already hears me just passed out on the table, just waiting for my water. You gonna come down? You want to be on the podcast for a minute?
I'm not getting on camera tonight.
She's in the chat. Blow her up. She's in chat. I need peer pressure immediately. Apply pressure.
This water bottle to you.
I don't want a water bottle. I want a cranberry, please.
Water's better for you.
I'm gonna complain that my Uber driver didn't deliver me the right drink. You're gonna complain. Lacey, ice and cranberry juice. Pronto, please. I need. All right, well, say goodbye to everybody.
Bye.
See what I had to put up, Rock? Thanks, Rock. I didn't die of thirst because of you. Thank you. Yeah, everybody's like water. All right, so you said your AK, that AK-47, and who breeds that? Like what strain is very energizing? That's good to know. Let's see here. Mr. Cece likes green crack to get things done. Okay, who's that by, Cece? You know, you can just come on the show. You don't have to put your camera on if you want. She's in the background doing awesome things. Let's see here. Who else? Come on. I know that one of you guys knows some strains. Give me some ideas so I can buy some seeds and see if it works for me. Because I'm also, you know, my what I'm looking for too is, you know, I really like the heavy flavor. So sometimes when you smoke, you know how you like slap your little lips together like after, like, because you can taste it coming off. So like that really heavy profile behind it. It's from Blimburn. Okay. Made the simple syrup with the AK and the coffee is a great compliment. Okay, so I don't drink coffee primarily, but I do drink espressos during the winter season. When it's cold, when it gets cooler mornings out, I will have an espresso in my hand. Now I have the machine here. I do that the grinder thing. It measures out everything. You put it in there. You push the buttons. It's really cool. However, most times I don't finish my drink. It'll be left on the counter somewhere. You're looking for the exact opposite. God damn, dude. No, wildberry crack is a doomsday seed. Okay. It has crack in it. Very nice. So with you, with liking downers, see, I'm uppers. See, I'm very ADHD, so I'm like energetic all the time. But if I smoke too much or eat too many, I'll take a little nap during the day. So that's why I prefer dabbing, and maybe anybody else in the chat feels the same way. I like dabbing mainly because when you dab, it feels cleaner. Like sometimes I feel like the flower can weigh you down a little bit, where in my opinion, now it could also be the strain too. I'm sure there's a couple of strains and dabs that can throw you right into the couch. But when I got my recent stuff from the Maryland dispensary, which is really nice, I have the link in my Discord if you guys are in Maryland. I was good to go, dude. I felt like running a fucking marathon. And what I like about dabs is in the morning, I don't get the heavy cough. So like I cough a lot, and sometimes even with bongs, it can be overwhelming and just kind of you get the heavy like smoke. Plus, I rip it. Like I'm not trying to get buzzed. I'm trying to get stoned. So you know, like I'm going like fire all your guns at once. Let's to the head, you know. But yeah, the dabs I just think are so much cleaner. That's why this week, before I go to the beach next week, I'm definitely going to be having my dabs. I'm going to go up to the Maryland dispensary because I'll be in Rockville, Maryland this weekend. We're going to Comic-Con, and I'm going to dress as MadManPlant. We are also going to be at Collecticon in Richmond coming up in 2 weeks. So make sure you come to Collecticon. Me and Logan will be there. I will be dressed up as MadManPlant. Logan's very big into anime. So if any of you anime heads there, I'm going to come up with my own anime character to wear at Comic-Con with Logan because he's going to dress up too that matches the mask. Seeing that I have a tuxedo that I have for because I'm a Freemason. So when you're a line officer, you have to own a tux because on stated communications, you have to dress up. And then for others ceremonies and stuff like that. But I never wear the tux, and it's perfectly fitted. And I'm like, how dope would that be if I was walking around in a tuxedo, mask, professional, looking like sharp. I'm even thinking about doing that for MJ BizCon, at least for the opening day, dressed in the nines. This is why when I take pictures, because I'll get like catcalled when I'm walking down the aisles, which is kind of cool. I do like that. This is why I'm getting more involved with edibles. So edibles make me more tired. So you think the edibles can keep you up? Wait, hold on, did I read that wrong? I can't smoke the bomb first thing in the morning. I wake up, but an hour or so after I'm good. For me, the heavy high amber Afghani keeps me going all day. It makes me pass out at the end of the day. Bam. Yeah. My lungs, yeah, I definitely have to watch how much I smoke and how hard I got. Wait, how hard? Wait, that's funny reading that when it's a little close to bedtime. Oh, it's hilarious. I definitely have to. Yep. So check this out. We are about to be on our tour again, September 6th. I will be in Atlantic City, New Jersey. That's right. And then followed by that, I will be in Grand Rapids, Michigan, September 20th. I will also be in Syracuse, New York, October 25th. November 20th or November 2nd, I'll be in Florida. December 3rd, I'll be in Vegas. And December 8th, I'll be at the Cowboy Cup. It is going down, and we're going to be having some fun. And that's the great thing, too, is this tour has been phenomenal. I've had so much fun touring. It has been such a great show, and I want to thank out all of our sponsors. Without you guys on the show, it would have been impossible. So we want to thank you guys for this year, helping us out, getting us everything that we needed. It has been a great year, and I just cannot wait to continue it. The next year's coming up, which is going to be amazing. All the pieces fall into the right place when you let them. You just need to align the stars. You know, you need to figure out what it is that you really want. Like, for instance, I'll tell you this, right? I told you back when I got sidetracked is in October, I told Lacey I wanted a different life. I was like, I'm tired of this life. I'm tired of serving the people we do. I need to be traveling. I need to be on the road. I need to actually be meeting people. I'm tired of just sitting in this basement and in my house like everybody else. I want to be out in the community. I want to make a real impact. By December, we planned on the road show. By January, I had 70 phone calls and Zoom calls. And then I landed the sponsors. And then January, we were in California for our first event. It took October to January to make that a reality. Did we get a lot of rejection? Did we face some hardships along the way? Absolutely. But it's business. And it's another thing you don't understand. If you're not a business, life's going to suck sometimes. And it does not matter how much or how good you think or thought you were prepared. Life will kick you in the ass, just like Limp Bizkit said. So you got to understand that everything's trial and error. And if you don't think you're going to fail, well, you're in for it. I learned more from failing and my mistakes than I ever do from my successes. There's more value in failing. Being able to man up and say, wow, this is what went wrong. See what happened. Okay, we're not doing this here, blah, blah, blah. And then fixing it. Coming back bulletproof, like I talked about earlier. But that's what I'm saying, dude. It could be as short or as long as you want. It's up to you. And that's the beauty, is it's on your time. And my time's now with you guys. I've been talking for an hour and 20 minutes all by myself, like in full conversation. I love what I do. I have a natural high just sitting here and talking. That's why it took me an hour to smoke the joint. And that's why another thing is there's no faking what I do. How could I be this great empowering person on social media, breaking down boundaries with people, telling real stories, having emotions on my podcast, and be this piece of shit in real life, and be this sabotager, and be this guy that's trying to ruin it for the rest of the people? It makes no fucking sense. And it actually goes against what I believe in and what the podcast and everything stands for. So I would be a huge hypocrite if that were true. So that's why, guys, you sometimes you gotta read the writing on the wall and be like, okay, yeah, I don't, that doesn't make sense. That whoever said that or whatever was said, there's just no way. No, fuck that. Okay, so you know what I mean. There's such a sense of being real and the fact that you can be who you want to be. And my biggest thing in my own life is for a long time, I wasn't being me. I was always trying to please people and make sure that everybody liked me. And now I don't care. I just don't. What I do care about is the impact that I make and the value that I bring and the people that I talk to and the value that they have to share with the world. That's my valuable. That's what I'm looking for. I don't even sell a product. Yeah, if you want to buy some merch on their website and support me, great. I don't even sell a product. My time is my product. It is my investment. It is my virtue. It is what I have built. It's my enterprise. It's my foundation. It's my estate. It's $1 million product that maybe you see right now or maybe you don't see right now. I can give a shit less. I know, like the person who's at the poker table with the good hands, the cards that I have. All right. And that's how you should feel about yourself. That's how the attitude and confidence that you should be talking to yourself is, like you are going into this cheating because you are just so prepared and just so ready for life and opportunity. And you are not there to engage in negativity because I promise you, you will get nowhere. Mark my words. I'll put money on that. I guarantee you, the person that's extremely negative, and don't worry, I have my moments too where I'm extremely negative too. Ask Lacey all the time. Sometimes she has to talk me out of my thoughts because I'm just really pissed off. I am human. I am not perfect, and I don't want to be perfect. And in fact, I don't want to be even close to it. That's why I chose the philosopher who, when they drew the picture of all the philosophers standing on the chair, the stairs, my philosopher is laying down next to his dog on the ground. I'm different. I'm not like you. I'm not like anybody else. And so are you. You're different. And then once you have that courage, everything else just goes by the wayside. I used to be a very closed mind person. I used to be a person that was all about materials. I used to have only designer clothes. I used to have like 20 pairs of Oakleys. I cared so much about what people thought. And then I started doing psychedelics and like my ego just died. And that's why I think I said it earlier, but if I didn't, your ego needs to go to hell. You need to kill your fucking ego, the portrait of yourself, and you need to bury it somewhere out in that fucking desert and make sure it's dead. Because when you kill your ego like that, you allow yourself to become a person that can't be like that with those type of mindset. And that goes back to the conversation about your attitude is your altitude. And it doesn't matter how well you can fake it. Like my wife tells me all the time, what's done in the dark always comes out in the light. It's just a matter of time. And that's the thing, is if you spend more time investing in something real, it's like that Jimmy it's like that Norton guy, right? Who really pissed me off this year. He canceled the event for everybody, right? That was supposed to be my Arizona trip, but I got to do 3 grow shops, 1 consumption lounge, and a nightclub for a podcast, all in 3 days. That was 5 locations, close to I think like 50 podcasts throughout the week or the 3 days. Anyways, with that being said, like the Norton guy, whatever the fuck his name was, you spend all that time and energy getting people's hypes up, taking people's money, building people's dreams. People had people they were going to meet there. People were coming there to do business deals. You had a whole enterprise going, and then you want to scam the community out of what, 20, 30, $40,000, and then run away like a little bitch. I'm not like that. Why would you work so hard to fool people to wind up with nothing? A one-time investment or payout? No. One, just like Kevin Hart said, right? Listen to this. Kevin Hart said, I am no longer a comedian. I'm an investor looking for investments. I'm a partnership. One off opportunities are not in my best interest. And that's the way you should feel. Just like in business, if you don't have repeat business, you're not going to know your monthly numbers. And what you make and what you draw in each month is going to be a gamble. And unless you're okay with that, it's a very hard way to live life. I used to live life like that, not knowing each week what was coming in, trying to have to hustle each single week. Now I have people on year contracts. It makes a huge world of a difference. But I didn't do that by scamming people. And the only reason I called him out is because he used my likeness and part of my platform to gain a lot of his influence to help him out. And I worked heavily with him on a lot of the back end things. And not only did he screw everybody else over, but he also did it to me too. Wouldn't answer my phone calls, wouldn't respond to my emails. So I don't have respect for that. And why would you do that to a community when you could have kept your word, became this awesome event, got a bigger event next year, grown your business, grown your brand, really you made partnerships and lasting relationships, but you want to go play games for a one-time payout. Nobody will ever invest in you again. And that's the thing with opportunities. They're once in a lifetime. If you fuck up or fuck over somebody, I get it that there are business transactions and partnerships that just don't go through. They don't work out for whatever reason. It's part of life. It's water under the bridge. Nobody really gives a shit, right? But when you work with people like these vendors who a lot of them don't have a lot of money, a lot of people that what I've met at these vendor events, they're counting on these events to make the business transactions so they can continue to grow their business, be in business. And you want to play games. Why? Why do all that work just to hurt people when you could do all that work, which you already did anyways, and made it a great opportunity for people? And now they get to thrive, they get to live, they get to enjoy. And that's why my event is going to be on point. That's why my event is going to be exactly what it says it is. We're raising the exact same money that we are, and it's all about realness. You know, I need the world to start being real. We idolize and appreciate these fake lifestyles, these glimpses of people's lives that they want you to see. My life isn't always perfect. I'm not always sitting back, just, hanging out, kicking back and relaxing, being madman. No, half the time I'm working, doing things that I really don't want to do for other people where I could be doing stuff for myself. But I have a company to run, and it's just one of those things where why would I spend any other time that I have doing anything but trying to grow my brand, not sabotage it? Like, if you're going to do that and you're just going to be a piece of shit, why even show up? That's my rhetorical question to the world is, why even do the charade when you can be yourself? And I think that's the biggest thing is we all want to be somebody. But the second that you realize when you kill your ego that you already are, you already realize that you need to be playing catch up. I wish I knew half the shit that I'm talking to myself. I wish I knew 10 years ago when I was 23, 25 years old. I spent a lot of time in my younger years trying to be a people pleaser, doing a lot of things for other people just for them to like me. And you know what? It got me nothing. Once I started putting my foot down, being a little bit rude at times when I had to be, and rudeness involves like a hard no. Like, no, I can't help you. And they're like, oh man, that's fucked up. And I'm like, okay, but it has nothing to do with me. And my time, my valuables, my resources, everything like that, I can't invest that in you right now. It actually, Berner said this the other day. He was talking about the word no, and I made a big comment in response to it. The power of no. And so many of us just say yes to our ideas, to our influences. Oh, this person's doing that. Oh, yeah, man, that's fucked up. They shouldn't be doing that. Do you know that for a fact? No, I haven't seen it personally, but I know. Well, then how can you judge somebody? How could you ever know? How are we ever going to know? Any of us. It's the internet. It's the fakest place in the world. It's where the piece of shit could be the rock star and you'd never fucking know. Or the rock or the smallest person with, one follower could be the most generous, beautiful person in the world. We're never gonna know. And we'll never know. The idea is relationships, love, compassion. This, it's kind of like I was working with a business and they were just very unreasonable. And I proposed a question. I was like, how have you been in business so long and not had any, hiccups along the way? And they couldn't answer the question. So it's okay that we're not perfect. It's okay that we don't always feel great every day. It's okay that maybe we don't always respond the best way to people. It's okay that maybe, it just didn't work out. It's okay. Does it define us as people? No, it doesn't. And the second you stop thinking that everything defines you, and that's something that I'm working on too, because, I get tied up because I think about, okay, what I'm doing versus what I want to be doing versus reality and stuff like that. And, it's tough. But the end result is, it's just, we deserve more. And the only people that are going to ensure that we get more is us. Like, nobody gives a shit. I mean, even your best friend, they have to worry about them first too. And even in masonry, there's which I can't go over it because it's part of one of the things, unless you remember. But there's a part in it that talks about understanding other people's problems as your own, and also being able to help, but not when it causes destruction or mayhem to yourself. And sometimes part of helping us is not helping others, whether that's getting involved with their drama, within their conspiracies, their negative thoughts, their negative behaviors, their posts. Like the other day, I was tagged in a post calling out another account, and I'm like, I immediately untagged myself. I don't support what you're saying, and you're gonna go bash another person. I definitely don't support that, because look at my platform. Look at what I do. How could it ever be misconstrued? And that's where I get the confusion myself. How could it ever be misconstrued? Business is business. People are out here chasing their dreams. Some people like me and Mark and other people, CC, they own businesses. They want to be a business. And to do what they got to do, they have to sell and promote their products. Well, CC, they don't have a cannabis product, but I have a video production company. Yes, I'm always on the move for business and pushing my brand forward. But at the same time, I shouldn't be ridiculed or subjected to negativity because I exist. You know how many other video production companies there are in my local area that I compete with on a daily basis? I'm not sitting out here saying, fuck you, Jimmy John Video. You're a piece of shit and fuck you. And everybody's a scam and don't follow him. And I need everybody on my side. No, I'm not. I'm working on myself. Like I've said this entire night. I'm making myself better. This is me versus me. It needs to be you versus you. And I promise you, in 6 months, less than 6 months, everything will change for you. It did for me. I went from sitting in this house wishing for a better life, being on the road traveling, to this year doing it. October to December to January. It's not hard. It's simple. I'm not special. I'm valuable. The reason I'm valuable is I'm investing myself each day to be a better, smarter, more caring, more loving, more educated person so I can assist the people around me and help make their lives better. When you come from a position like that, your game changes. It's no longer about I. They say that you need a village in business and brands and influence and everything. You do. Why alienate anybody that would dare to support your brand? You might find out that that person actually really liked you and actually was thinking about involving you in one of their content pieces. But for whatever reason, you decided to bash them. And now they're looking like, damn, I was really going to engage with you. But I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad that I know better now. So that's what I'm saying is we build bridges, we don't burn them. So that's pretty much my talk. See, I'm getting prepared. I really love speaking. I could keep going, but I'm gonna smoke this joint because it went out because I spoke too long. I just, guys, it's simple. I just believe in what I do. I am who I am, and it's not gonna change. I'm only gonna change for the better. And that's the way I think you should be. I think there's a lot of cowardice people. I think there's a lot of people that run their mouth, and it is what it is, dude. You do you. I'm going to do me. And what we can do is do a comparison. And if we want to compare apples to apples, give us 5 years. Just saying, I'm just asking for 5 years, and we can compare apples to apples. And then you can, in 5 years, you can tell me what a piece of shit you think I am and how much of a loser I am. And I'll show you how much I've done for myself. So, oh, I did the crack flame. I need nothing. I am no one. We all are nobody until we invest in somebody, and that's ourselves. Remember that. I'm nobody special. I don't want to be special. I want to be me. Tell my son Logan all the time, you don't want to be normal. If somebody says you're normal, you need to do more different things. And that's why, at 9 years old, and actually started at 8, dyeing his hair full color. And my dad was like, you shouldn't let him do that. He's too young. He needs to be able to figure that out when he's older. And I'm like, absolutely not. He's going to be who he is right now. Because when we suppress that, when we allow that creative side to die, we lose so much. And as a business owner, I will share a story with you. When I first got into video production, I was so just which I still am. But when you do it for a living and you hear the true opinions of people, especially not when it's fact, when they're angry, where they're, it'd be like, because things happen. I mean, I've been in business for almost 20 years. I've had amazingly happy clients that have plenty of Google reviews, and I've had unhappy clients, right? Some my fault, some they're just unreasonable. But one thing that you need to do is protect yourself of, and we were talking with this with a couple of friends earlier, is burnout. Whether it's your content, your creativity, your longevity as a person, your time as being a husband or a business owner, you're going to experience it a lot of times. I've even experienced it in my brand, like the feeling of like, nobody gives a shit. Why am I even doing this? I'm just tired of doing all this, I'm trying to making all this content, trying to do this, blah, blah, blah. It's natural. It happens to the best of us. The idea is deep down in your soul, there's something that drives you. And if there's not, I would encourage you to look around the things that you enjoy the most and pick one of those things and see if you could excel at it in some way. Make it a hobby, become more of a pro amateur at whatever it is. When you find purpose and peace and value, everything changes because you're no longer trying to do, you are literally adapting to who you are. And I think that is one of the most freeing things that business and psychedelics particularly really helped me with is the acceptance of self. Because when you accept yourself and you love yourself, you can take negative criticism. You can take somebody not agreeing with you. You can take that people aren't going to like you, and it doesn't do anything anymore. It's like numbing cream. And so many of us, we think that we need others. And you see the dick riding in communities where people are just like on top of these people. They're just people doing their thing. Instead of just riding, them so hard, why not come to their level and then you create the value with them? You become part of the value, the platform, the influence. You're no longer just a person enjoying it through them. And that's what I'm saying is, like, I feel like I'm on repeat a little bit, but I like what I talk about, is if we just did what we do for others, for ourselves, the same things that we think are going to get us somewhere. Like, for instance, I'll be honest with everybody. I thought being on tour this year, it would have made the brand viral. Like, we've met so many great people, but even in my sense, it didn't do what I thought. I thought that I was able to, to really, project it out there. And for the first year, I realized that it's not going to work that first year. There's still challenges that we face, and then there's also still things that we did exceptionally well. So the thought of your instant gratification can't be from what you get. And like I said earlier, it's who you become. What did I learn by traveling to all these states? Well, I learned how hard people really work in this community, especially in the B2B space when it comes to cannabis, and how many professionals there really are in the world, and how many people are coming. I met people in wheelchairs. I met people with severe autism. I met people who have suffered gunshot wounds. I've met people who have been rape victims. I've met so many beautiful people. And what it taught me wasn't about the ability to go viral with being on tour and how cool that was. It taught me the ability of what it's like to connect with people in different areas and to be able to shake hands and be able to really have a meaningful relationship. Like Macho and his wife, we spent 2 nights with them, went out to dinner twice with them. And not only that, but his wife did a beautiful podcast with me in the hotel lobby, which got emotional. 30-minute podcast right there in the lobby of the hotel. Amazing time spent. Amazing. When I go to Syracuse, I'm probably going to run into Mark from Root Nerds. Grownomics is going to be at my house in less than 60 days. Grownomics and Green Year from Texas and Arizona will be right here. And we're going to be doing lives throughout the nights. Like I said, I have a whole itinerary plan for them. I got it booked out. We will not be sitting around. We're going to be going to a lot of really cool stuff. So that's what I learned is I could become more impactful by shaking hands, not gaining the likes, not receiving the validation, not having millions of people watch my videos or donate during my lives. It had to do with the feeling that I was doing something that was bigger than myself, which is what I feel like right now. And that drive and that energy that I love and I feel, it's its own high. Sometimes it can outweigh the actual high of smoking. There's 3 things that really get to me. There's weed, there's sex, there's business, and then there's speaking. All 3 of them carry the almost about the same endorphin release. I just really love being in front of people. So, Ashley, you just made a huge impression on my son. Dude, that's awesome. And tell him to watch this show or rewatch this, dude, because he, especially Landon, is his son, and he was on our live. Really awesome guy. and he was on our show for the game show, and I would love for him to watch this because as being in school nowadays, it's a lot different than we were in school. And with kids being so impressionable and depression and suicide rates being up, if Landon could take this impression and impress this on other people, I would be so honored, because he can also gain the strength and the resilience that he has already, fine tune that shit, and he will be bulletproof, and he can honestly empower the people in his school. So that is so cool. Thank you, Chris, for sharing that. That's exactly what I'm losing. Root Nerd says you can't force kids to mature too early, losing all their silliness and passion. I don't think maturing is too early is what I'm talking about. What I think is, I never, like, we did the cartoon shows with my kid, but my 9-year-old listens to Eminem. Explicit. He knows the cuss words. He doesn't say the cuss words. My 9-year-old has helped me with my garden. My 9-year-old, has been in my episodes that did not have cannabis in them. When we did the unboxing of the Canatrol, he was part of that. I don't think you want to take the silliness and passion away, because passion is what this is right now, is what you're watching me experience, is what's coming out of me, which is why I just now talk for 2 hours by myself. That's the passion, the love. I think what we need to do is teach them the realness that, yes, the world isn't a perfect place. And what you're experiencing right now is a very precious time in your life. And when you grow up, you're going to remember this differently. I did. The way I see the world now as an adult and the way I saw the world as a child is totally different. I thought the world was a way nicer place when I was younger, until I got into like middle school and I got heavily picked on. And that's when the whole suicide thing went down. But no, life teaches you life, and you can either open your eyes and accept it and swallow the pill of it and learn how to play, or you're going to wind up in a bad position. And I think that's the biggest thing is, guys, we all got it. Nobody in here does not have what I have. Nobody in here, and I'm not better than anybody else in here. We're all the same. And that's one thing about masonry is nobody is on a plane like this. We are all on an even level. And that's the thing is, all it takes is just reaching out, getting connected, building relationships, putting yourself forward, and really allowing yourself to thrive. It is the most beautiful thing. It'll change your life. It'll change your output. It'll give you money in your pocket. It'll do everything you thought and more, if you would just let the ego die and realize that we are all in this together. That's my speech. Look at that. I think that I did pretty good. I think I am going to be ready for the high schools. Now I'm just going to be like, now, can I do it with the mask on? Because that's kind of a thing. You almost say, oh, so almost with it on. Does CC want to come on for the last 10 minutes and say something? Anybody else in the chat? You got anything to say? Yep, Moonwater. Yep, Tommy Two Buds. Yep. Guys, I'm loving the comments right now. Gronomics, you are the man. What Gronomics? You want to come on? I sent you the link through Discord. Why don't you show up real quick? Unless you're probably working. But this is great. I think yay or nay on me going live at 6 on Wednesdays. Do you like this better? Because I like it better, honestly. I think that going live earlier is more fun. And it's still light out. All right. Then it's official. All new episodes will be from 6 to 8 o'clock on Wednesdays. Wait, hold on. Wait. I need a gambit. I have now marked this into the official hours of the MadManPlant podcast. It's official. Congratulations, guys. I should have had something to sign and then done a picture that we have is from 6 to 8 now. Earlier time is better. No, okay, now Sundays. Now that I got people in here, Sunday, do you think we should keep it from 6 to 8 or from 5 to 7 or earlier? Tell me about Sunday. Because I do like Sunday and Wednesday because it gives me an almost even spacing throughout the week. So it's not like 2 days for this podcast and another 4 days for that one. I need a witness. Anthony seconds that. It's official. Well, please don't speak too much. I don't want to feel like I'm over talking to anybody. Yeah. Sometimes, you know what's really funny? Sometimes I actually expect a response. Like, I'm not even serious. Like, there's sometimes on here where I say something and I'm like, right? And then I say, you know, a lot. Probably there's a couple of words that I say repetitive. I'm trying to say, you know, less because it's like, why would I be asking you if I'm telling you? Yeah, sometimes I'm like, you know, right? And I just expect to hear something because we have the other podcasts where people are with me. So I get like all stoned and head out. Those times is good for Sunday. Okay. So CC Sunday 5 to 7, or we keep it. Tommy, what do you think? Crimson, what do you think? I know some of you guys are on Root Nerds. What do you think? Come on, guys. Sunday. We are talking about Sunday. We're officially doing 6 to 8 on Wednesdays. 5 to 7. Okay. Somebody also suggested that too. Now, post from Wednesdays. Does anybody? I don't want to do that because that's just 2 days away, and then I'm back. Like I said, the even spacing for Wednesday. Yep. All right. So here's what I need. I need somebody to sign up because guess what? In a couple weeks, I'll be out of guest again, and I'm looking for people. Now, I'm also looking to recap with people. So if you want to recap and get on here, share an update, let us know how wonderful you are, please come on up. But I am looking for compelling stories. My biggest thing is that we can talk about the garden, but let's talk about life. Let's change somebody's world together, if not your own. So many people. Yeah, September 4th is Root Nerds. And this time, Root Nerds, we're going to dive into, obviously, the product, but I want to have a conversation with you, and we can talk about this, one-to-one before the show. Something that really means something to you that you don't usually talk about. One of the biggest things is when I talk to like celebrities is I try to learn a little bit about them that they don't talk about that much. That's why when I did the interview with Exotic, it was about almost a 12-minute interview because, we're there on the convention floor, so we don't have tons of time with everybody. But we talked about him almost dying. And he actually said that he really loved the podcast. He's not used to people just coming up to him talking about something totally irrelevant. And, I want to be different. And I think, even with the celebrities, how cool would it be if I had an emotional experience with a celebrity, and not that there's some God's gift to earth, but it would just be cool to touch somebody on an extreme level, of success. And then also the levels that I teach right here. And believe me, every interview is just as important as the next. There's not one interview. Oh, you're going to cry. Okay. And by the time you're done crying, we can use those tears on the Aurora tray, and they're going to germinate your seed. Your tears will germinate your seeds. That'd be funny. We just collect them as we're going throughout the show. All right. We got enough. To sell them as little eye drops you put on your skin, make you feel better. Root Near Tears, new product coming out. bottled by himself. That I'm serious. Now you've given me an idea. So if you want to germinate your seeds faster, instead of using water, what you want to do is you want to use your tears. So we at Root Nerds want you to have an emotional conversation when germinating for the first time. We will at least need a couple gallons of tears, so make sure it's a long conversation. And you can store these. And they also have perfect pH. So you can feed it to your plants too. Yes, sadness, bringing life together for growers everywhere. But no, I hope this clears up everything. And we had a good talk, even though you guys didn't talk back. Well, you did in the chat. But I really meant what I said. And if you guys want to share this with somebody or give somebody else advice, feel free to use my words. I really just want to see everybody live their best life, including me. And the only way to do that is to fuck the bullshit, invest in yourself, not others. As it's good to invest in others, but here's the thing, just like on the airplane, please apply this oxygen mask to yourself before the person next to you. You know why? Because if you become useless, how the hell will you be useful to anybody else? And if you don't have power and you give all your power away, well, you won't need courage. You won't need motivation. You won't need morals. You won't need respect. You won't need any of it because you'll be whatever somebody else wants you to be. And that's a bad person. Be you. If you want to paint your hair purple like me, do it. You know, when I first dyed my hair, I thought everybody would give me shit and say, what's wrong with you? You're going through a midlife crisis, everything. Dyed my hair, been doing it for like almost 4 months now. I love it. Never will go back to normal color hair. I love my I have like, right now I have like a purplish pink color. I'm doing straight like neon pink for the cookout. I think it's a great color. And that's something I would never have done 10 years ago. I would have never, that's not me. I would never, ever do that. And now I do it. You know why? Because I'm becoming the version of me. I'm a creative person. I'm a colorful person. So I want that to reflect. I want to stand out. I want to be different. I don't want to be looking like the person next to me. I don't even want to talk like the next person next to me. I don't want to have the same ideas as the person next to me. I want to be so individualized and so unique and drive such a purpose to the people around me that I'm the flame. I'm the energy that people can use to help themselves, to grow their own selves. Be like that. I really, really mean that. Anyways, feel like I had a full therapy session with y'all. Thanks for coming to Madman's Therapy. You know what? I'm actually going to apply. So my therapist told me if I don't want to go to school, my wife is going to school for therapy. So she's actually in the future going to have her psychology degree and be an active therapist for the show, which is pretty cool. But what I'm going to do is, because I'm so busy, is there's a certificate that I can get that's right under the therapist through the Virginia State, whatever. I have to take a whole bunch of like courses, so it's not easy, but it's right under psychologist. So therefore, when I have these conversations, I also have validation to who I am. I actually invested in my platform by going to get a certificate that allows me to do social work and life coaching and motivational coaching on a recognized platform through the Virginia State. So that's how I'm also in making this more valuable to you guys, by investing in myself. But not only that, by learning more about addiction, watching other people's stories, really investing in the stories that I want to tell. Because I can sit here and ask questions all day, but how cool would it be if I know exactly from the outside world, because I would never know what people go through. Just to have a glimpse of a better conversation, more insightfulness, something that's not typically discussed. So that's what I want to do, and that's what I intend to do, and nobody is stopping me. You can try, but I'm gonna go forever. I'm like an Energizer bunny. There really is there's no fixing it. There's no stopping it. There's no reasoning with it. It's all magic, and it's all going to become very real, and it's just a matter of time. So I really appreciate every single person that has watched this. You guys are all amazing, and I really do appreciate you. And as Cece has been doing such a great job tonight, thank you so much for being here when Gronomics cannot be here. You are so amazing, and I really respect you and your husband. If you want to join our Discord where I will be after this, you can do that because I'm about to go upstairs, make some hard-boiled eggs and some really bad acid reflux decisions because I have acid reflux. But tonight, it's going down. We'll see you guys. Peace. Hey, how'd you like